Gorillas bounce back fast. Copy their recovery to avoid burnout in these 5 exercises. Welcome back to the Pump Room Podcast, where we forge unbreakable strength, muscle, and mindset. I'm your host, Dr. Eris Thorne, and today we're diving into something every lifter dreads but can't ignore: overtraining. Picture this. You're grinding in the gym, pushing limits, but suddenly your gains stall. Fatigue hits like a truck, and that nagging soreness won't quit. It's real, it's brutal, and it can derail your progress for weeks. But what if you could recover like a silverback gorilla, those massive beasts who dominate without breaking down? They sleep deep, move with effortless power, and rest smart, proving nature's blueprint for unbreakable resilience. Stick around because I'm breaking down 5 gorilla-inspired exercises that flip overtraining on its head, backed by science and real-world results. If you've ever felt burned out, this episode will change how you train forever. Let's unleash that inner beast. All right, let's kick this off at the very foundation, recognizing when you're heading straight into the burnout zone, just like a gorilla senses danger lurking in the wild and instinctively pulls back to conserve its energy reserves. Overtraining isn't some vague, feeling tired excuse. It's your body's full-on alarm system blaring red alerts. The symptoms can sneak up on you like a shadow in the jungle. Persistent muscle pain that drags on way beyond your typical delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. Unexpected weight fluctuations where you're either dropping pounds too fast or packing on unwanted fat. Heightened anxiety that keeps you tossing and turning at night and suddenly catching every little cold or bug that floats your way because your immune system is taking a nosedive. I remember one of my clients, a dedicated powerlifter named Mike, who completely ignored these warning signs. He was smashing personal records left and right, feeling invincible. But then bam, his bench press numbers flatlined. He started gaining that stubborn belly fat despite clean eating, and even his lightest workouts left him wiped out for days. Science dives deep into why this happens. When you push too hard without adequate recovery, stress hormones like cortisol skyrocket, throwing your entire hormonal balance into chaos, weakening your immunity, and even messing with your sleep cycles. Studies from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research highlight how chronic overtraining can lead to elevated cortisol levels that suppress testosterone, the key hormone for muscle growth and repair. It's like your body is waving a white flag, but if you don't listen, you're setting yourself up for a long, frustrating plateau. But here's where we turn the tables. Prevention starts with smart tracking. Gorillas don't overexert because they live in tune with their instincts. We can mimic that with simple tools. Start by journaling your mood and performance daily. Rate your energy on a scale of 1 to 10 after each session. Note any unusual aches and track your sleep quality. If those energy levels are consistently dipping below a 7, or if soreness lingers past 72 hours, it's your cue to dial things back. Apply this gorilla wisdom practically. Set up a basic app like MyFitnessPal or even a notebook to log these metrics. Over time, patterns emerge. Maybe it's that extra set on deadlifts pushing you over the edge, or late night scrolling tanking your rest. Let me walk you through a real-world example to make this crystal clear. Take Sarah, another client of mine, a competitive bodybuilder prepping for her first show. She was training 6 days a week, hitting splits like chest and back, legs, shoulders, you name it. But she started noticing her grip strength fading during pulls, and her motivation tanked. We implemented a symptom checklist, daily weigh-ins, mood logs, and even heart rate monitoring at rest. Turns out, her resting heart rate had climbed from 60 to 75 beats per minute, a classic overtraining red flag. By spotting it early, we adjusted her program, adding deload weeks, and boom, her energy rebounded and she stepped on stage shredded and strong. Now imagine pushing blindly through that wall of fatigue only to crash even harder on the other side. But flip the script. What if spotting these signs early empowers you to train smarter, not just harder? That's the true gorilla edge. It keeps you consistent, injury-free, and progressing month after month. To lock this in, here's your first actionable step. Tonight, grab a journal and list out your top 3 overtraining symptoms from the past week. Rate them, reflect, and commit to tracking for the next 7 days. This simple habit alone can save your gains, prevent setbacks, and keep you dominating in the gym like the apex predator you are. We'll build on this as we go deeper into the secrets. Building right on that foundation of awareness, let's shift into the powerhouse of recovery, sleep, the ultimate weapon that gorillas wield effortlessly to rebuild and dominate. These massive primates clock in a solid 12 to 13 hours of shut-eye every single day, curled up in their custom-built nests high in the trees, promoting that deep, uninterrupted, restorative rest. Why does this matter so much? Because during those precious hours, their bodies go into full repair mode, rebuilding torn muscle fibers, balancing out hormones, flushing toxins from the system, and even strengthening neural connections for better performance. For us dedicated lifters, skimping on sleep is like deliberately sabotaging your own muscle-building factory. Cutting-edge research confirms that high-quality sleep triggers a massive release of growth hormone, accelerates tissue repair, and supercharges your immune function, potentially slashing your overall recovery time up to 20% or more. Yet, in my consultations with bodybuilders and strength athletes, I hear it all the time. They're scraping by on 6 to 7 hours, then wondering why their soreness drags on endlessly and their lifts stall out. Let me pull back the curtain on a personal story from my own grinding days to drive this home. Early in my career as a strength coach, I was pulling those brutal 5 a.m. gym sessions right after late-night study marathons for my doctorate. My quads would scream and protest for days after a heavy leg day, and my progress, it was stagnant, like running on a treadmill. Then I decided to channel the gorilla approach, prioritizing a full 8 to 10 hours, blacking out my room completely, and ruthlessly cutting caffeine after noon. The transformation was night and day, soreness cut in half, strength numbers surging upward, and that foggy mental haze lifted. It was like unlocking a secret level in the game of gains. So, how do you apply this gorilla magic to your own routine? Enter the Gorilla Nest Routine, a step-by-step blueprint designed for busy lifters like you. Step 1. Transform your bedroom into a true sleep cave. Invest in blackout curtains to eliminate every sliver of light. Set your thermostat to a cool 65 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal body temp regulation, and consider a white noise machine to drown out distractions, just like the ambient sounds of the jungle lulling a gorilla to sleep. Step 2. Wind down with a targeted 10-minute breathing work session before bed. Inhale deeply for a count of 4, hold for 4, then exhale slowly for 6. Repeat this cycle until your mind quiets and your body relaxes. This isn't fluff, it's backed by studies showing it lowers cortisol and primes you for deeper REM cycles. Step 3. Track your progress with a simple app like Sleep Cycle or even your smartwatch. Aim for consistency, not perfection. Log your wake-up energy levels and adjust as needed.
But let's make this even more practical with variations for different lifestyles. If you're a night owl shift worker, flip the script. Block out daytime light with heavy drapes and use blue light blocking glasses in the evening to preserve your melatonin. For parents with kids waking you up, incorporate power naps, 20 to 30 minutes in the afternoon, gorilla-style short recharges that studies show can boost alertness without grogginess. And don't forget nutrition's role here. Fuel your sleep with magnesium-rich foods like spinach or almonds before bed, mimicking the nutrient-dense gorilla diet of leaves and fruits that promote relaxation. Here's another client win to inspire you. Meet Tom, a 40-year-old dad and amateur strongman competitor. He was averaging 5 hours of broken sleep, leading to constant joint pain and 0 PRs. We dialed in the Gorilla Nest. Consistent bedtime, no screens an hour before, and that breathwork ritual. Within 2 weeks, his sleep score jumped from 60% to 85%. His deadlift added 20 pounds, and he reported feeling like a new man. Proof positive that this works. What if just one night of implementing this routine changes everything for you? Test it out tonight. Build your nest, breathe deep, and wake up ready to conquer. As we move forward, remember, sleep isn't optional. It's your secret sauce for turning average recovery into elite-level bounce back. This sets the stage perfectly for unlocking that next layer of gorilla prowess. Now that we've fortified your recovery base with sleep mastery, let's swing into the next critical pillar, mobility, where gorillas truly shine as they glide through the jungle canopy with insane flexibility, twisting, reaching, and leaping without a single hitch or strain. These beasts don't follow rigid stretching protocols like we often do. Instead, their everyday movements, climbing, foraging, and playing, keep their joints fluid, muscles pliable, and bodies primed for action. In the world of bodybuilding and strength training, neglecting mobility is a fast track to disaster. Tight hips from endless squats, locked-up shoulders from heavy benches, these imbalances brew injuries, prolong soreness, and cap your potential. But flip it with science-backed dynamic mobility work and you unleash better blood flow, reduced stiffness, and muscles prepped for heavier loads, dramatically lowering injury risk while boosting overall performance. Think about pro bodybuilder Sarah again, who first came to me crippled by chronic shoulder pain from years of intense pressing. She was incredibly strong on paper, but her stiffness was holding her back. Overtraining had essentially locked her joints in place. We integrated gorilla-inspired mobility flows into her routine, and within just a few short weeks, her range of motion exploded. The pain vanished entirely, and she was hitting new depths in her squats and smoother reps on overhead presses. It was a game changer, turning her from frustrated to fired up. Your turn to harness this, the Gorilla Swing Sequence, a practical, no-equipment-needed routine you can slot into your days. Start with wide arm circles, 10 forward and 10 backward, channeling a gorilla's powerful reach to loosen the shoulders and upper back. Feel that gentle pull? That's blood rushing in, nourishing those tissues. Next, drop into deep squat holds, feet shoulder width, lower down until your hips open. Use your elbows to push your knees outward and hold for 30 to 60 seconds while rocking side to side gently. This targets those tight hip flexors that plague leg day warriors. Finish strong with thoracic twists. Get on all fours, thread one arm under the other, and rotate your torso, gazing upward. Repeat 10 times per side to free up your spine and improve posture for better lifts. Commit to this 3 times a week, just 10 to 15 minutes each session, and watch your body respond. Let's customize it further. If you're a desk jockey by day, add standing hip openers. Step into a lunge, push your hips forward, and hold. Perfect for countering hours of sitting. For overhead athletes like crossfitters, incorporate wall angels. Back against the wall, slide your arms up and down like making snow angels, building shoulder stability. And tie in breathing. Inhale as you open, exhale as you deepen the stretch, syncing your breath like a gorilla's rhythmic movements in the wild. Nutrition plays a part too. Hydrate like crazy. Gorillas get water from juicy plants, and add collagen supplements or bone broth to support joint health, as research shows it can improve flexibility over time. Ever had that moment where a tight muscle derails your whole workout? I've been there, pulling a hamstring mid-sprint because I skipped mobility. But embracing this gorilla flow turned my weak links into strengths. Let's simulate a quick Q&A here. Dr. Thorne, how do I know if I'm tight? Simple. Test your range. Can you squat ass to grass without heels lifting? If not, prioritize hips. What if it hurts? Differentiate good stretch from bad pain. Ease in, never force. This isn't just theory, it's transformative. Ready to move like that silverback? Slot the gorilla swing into your routine starting today. Your body will thank you with smoother lifts, less pain, and faster progress. This mobility unlock flows seamlessly into our next secret, where we keep the energy flowing without burnout. With mobility now in your arsenal, enhancing how you move and recover, let's evolve into the art of active rest, the gorilla's secret to staying powerful without ever fully powering down. In the wild, gorillas aren't couch potatoes. They engage in light, purposeful activities like playful wrestling, foraging for food across the terrain, and gentle social grooming with their troop. This isn't laziness, it's strategic, keeping their enormous frames ready for action while promoting healing. For us lifters, ditching complete downtime in favor of active movement is a revelation. It actively flushes out lactic acid buildup, ramps up circulation to deliver nutrients, and accelerates healing far beyond what passive rest can achieve alone. Peer-reviewed studies underscore this, showing active recovery cuts muscle soreness, preserves mobility, and leaves you refreshed for your next heavy session. I vividly recall coaching Alex, a high-level crossfitter who was absolutely crippled by overtraining-induced fatigue. His workouts felt like wading through mud. He was used to total off days on the couch, but that only stiffened him up more. We switched to gorilla-style active rest days, incorporating light swims and nature walks. The results? His energy levels rebounded dramatically, his workouts intensified, and he shattered his old benchmarks. It was like flipping a switch from drained to dominant. Implement this with the Gorilla Forage Flow, a versatile, no-equipment-needed routine you can slot into your days. Begin with a brisk 20 to 30-minute walk in nature. Aim for uneven terrain to engage stabilizers, adding playful elements like occasional bodyweight lunges or leaning against trees for balance stretches, just as a gorilla navigates the forest floor. If water's accessible, opt for easy pool laps. Focus on smooth, elongated strokes that promote blood flow without strain. Alternate these with gentle yoga flows, like the cat-cow pose to loosen your spine and release built-up tension from deadlifts or rows. Schedule 2 to 3 sessions per week, treating them not as off time, but essential recharge phases.
Customize for your needs. If you're recovering from leg day, choose swimming over walking to go easy on the quads. For upper body focus, try light band work or shadow boxing, low impact, high circulation. Fuel it right with gorilla-inspired snacks, bananas for potassium to prevent cramps, nuts for healthy fats that aid inflammation reduction. Track your perceived exertion. Keep it under a 4 out of 10 to ensure it's restorative, not taxing. Let's address common hurdles. I don't have time. Squeeze in a 10-minute walk during lunch. It feels too easy? That's the point. It's building sustainability. From my experience, athletes who adopt this see fewer injuries and consistent gains. Ever felt that dreaded post-rest slump where you return to the gym rusty? This active approach flips it into a powerful surge, keeping you sharp and ready. We've layered the secrets: awareness, sleep, mobility, active rest. Now it's time to weave them into a cohesive, unbreakable system with your weekly Gorilla Recovery Checklist. Gorillas thrive on these instinctual, rhythmic routines that ensure survival and strength. You can mirror that for lifelong gains. This isn't some complicated app. It's a simple, point-based plan to gamify your recovery, aiming for 100 points weekly to hit peak performance. Break it down. Award yourself 20 points for each night of 8+ hours of quality sleep. Track with your app and adjust your nest as needed. Add 15 points per mobility session completed, whether it's the full gorilla swing or a quick hip opener. Rack up 10 points for every active rest outing, like that forage walk or swim. Throw in bonuses, 5 points for nutrition wins, such as incorporating anti-inflammatory gorilla favorites, berries, nuts, or leafy greens that combat soreness. Monitor symptoms too. Log 0 soreness days for an extra 5 points each, and deduct if overtraining signs creep back. Hit that 100-point mark, you're operating at gorilla-level resilience, sidestepping burnout entirely. Real proof from the trenches. Mike, our powerlifter from earlier, used this checklist to break his plateau. Scoring consistently high led to a 50-pound squat PR in months. Sarah integrated it, turning pain into power. Your payoff? Unstoppable, sustainable gains without the crashes that plague most lifters. Print this checklist, pin it to your fridge, and review weekly. Adapt as life throws curves. This ties everything together, making recovery your superpower. We've unlocked the full arsenal of gorilla secrets to heal faster, train harder, and dominate without downfall. Spot the traps, sleep like a beast, move with acrobat grace, rest actively, and checklist your way to victory.
Implement these 5 exercises and overtraining becomes a distant memory. Next episode, we expose the common pitfalls in this recovery series, arming you to avoid them cold. If this episode ignited your fire, hit that like button, subscribe for more iron-forged wisdom, and share your biggest recovery takeaway in the comments. What's the one secret you'll tackle first? Join the Iron family. Together, we're building unbreakable strength. Until next time, stay pumped and recover strong.